All right, I'm going to use these puzzles on chess.com to show you guys how a chess player analyzes a position and finds the best move. My puzzle rating's in the 2800s, so these puzzles should be a challenge for everyone, and we all can learn something from these puzzles. All right, so in this position, we have, you can see the king is very loose. So we have a loose king. Our king is pretty loose as well, but it looks like since we have the center that's kind of entangled here, maybe we can run away and get in here, or just in here after the series of queen checks. That should be fine. The first thing I do, let's see, we count the pieces. We have 4 pieces. Our opponent has 4 pieces. He has a material edge because he has the 2 rooks, and we only have a bishop and knight. So, however, the king being open is the problem for him. Now, what square is the king on? A light square or a dark square? It's on a light square. Our queen is on a light square, so we can throw in a check. First, we look at the forcing moves. Whether we're looking for offense or defense, we always look for forcing moves. Okay, so the queen, if the king comes here, it's checkmate. So after king d3, the king has to take the rook. Okay, then we can deliver another check here. And now the king is really in trouble because if he goes back here, he lands on our dark square, and we have a dark square bishop. That would be mate. So we have check, takes, check, and if he comes here, he gets hit by the knight. If he comes here, then the queen comes here, checkmate. So that's the move. We have check, then we have check, and now the king goes to a dark square. That is checkmate. All right, let's move on to the next puzzle. Okay, so rook d1 here. All right, what do we notice first? Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have, materially, we have even position. Our king side looks a little busted and weak. Looks like it. His king's still in the center. So I'm looking for, first of all, his king position. If his king's in the center, which it is. So if there are any weaknesses we could exploit. I'm also looking for weak pieces on his part. It doesn't look like he has any weak pieces by any means. However, we do have a central push here to attack a piece. When that bishop goes back, really only move, then it looks like we win this bishop. This bishop's stuck. This bishop has very few squares to go to. So if I don't see an undefended piece, I look for pieces that are cramped. So in this position, I'd play this. He has to save his bishop, and now there's no way to save that bishop. Okay. Now, we can't be tunnel vision and go take this because that was our plan the whole time. Because his rook is here. So first we have to throw an in-between move. If we want to take this piece for free, but the rook is here. So I want to get my queen out of the way. If I get my queen out of the way to a random square, he'll just simply move his bishop away. So I got to do it with force. I got to do it that saves time. This move, queen a5, throws in a check. And again, he's blocking with the queen. We can't take yet. We have to take first with check. And only now we take the bishop. Okay, let's see the next puzzle here. Okay, looks like, again, our king side looks a little weak, but I guess these players know what they're doing. I guess they got these games from professionals, hopefully. Okay, so pawn h6 attacking the knight, but the bishops also attack. So what do we do here? In these types of situations, we kind of have a fork in the road. Not a fork, like a chess fork, but a fork in the road. A lot of players misplay these exact type of positions. So we can either take and allow him to take, whoops, or we can avoid the trade altogether. I don't see a way to avoid the trade, to like move the knight away. So it looks like we might have to just go into this. So I take, he's got to take or else he's down a piece. And then I'm trying to look for, I take here, takes. I'll be up a pawn if that happens. But my king side looks weak. So in this position, I want to see if there's a way to save the knight and then take the bishop. There isn't, but what's a good forcing in between move here? I think I just found it, okay? So I'm looking for ways to kind of like hide my knight, but nothing works. And I look at this move. If I take the pawn on f7, I'm forking the queen and rook. Black has to answer that by taking my knight, and then I take his bishop, and then this pawn's going to go with check because the king's on f7 and is pinned. So this is the best move. Then I take the bishop. He throws in a check. Now, where do I put my king here? Interesting moment in this game. Where do I put my king? I'm going to put my queen actually here and defend this. Why is that? I don't want him to take this pawn afterwards. If my queen's here and he takes, I can just take his queen. Again, his pawn is pinned. He'll just lose his queen. So I'm going to block like this. And now when I take back, we're going to win this pawn. We have a better position. Okay. All right, in this puzzle, all right, we're making some good progress here. Oh, wow, black has 2 queens here. However, we see that there's a discovered attack on the queen, like this check, knight g5, check. Looks like it wins the queen, but the bishop's here. Okay, so we know we can't do that, or maybe we still can do that. We just can't take the queen. So here I'm looking at this check. Okay, if the king goes anywhere else, like here, it looks like you might be in trouble after this check here, or maybe not. This might be a trick here. So they're giving you this as a trick, I think, because this doesn't work. If you play this, it actually helps black defend, because now the knight was blocking the defense to the king side, but after this, the queen's actually unleashed to defend the king side. So here I might just take on f7, check. Okay, if the king goes back here, I throw in a check. It goes back here. Now I throw in the check with the knight. That looks interesting. Now I throw in a check. He takes. And what do we have here? This check. He comes up here. And then I take this pawn, and it looks like checkmate. So I think I have this one figured out here. Just want to make sure. I'm going to go ahead, throw in this check. Okay. So he comes forward. We didn't look at this way. We looked if he comes backwards. He comes forward. How do we handle this? Okay, I can throw in another check. Again, if he comes up here, there's a check here. And we'll repeat that pattern. If he goes down here, he's getting checkmated. So this check. Okay, and now he's just getting checkmated after queen h8 because the king has nowhere to go. And that solves that puzzle. Okay. All right, in this position, what are we looking at? White's king is not castled. It's not doesn't necessarily mean it's not safe. It's just not castled, something to know. Another thing to notice, our knight is being attacked and is not defended. This bishop has tension on this knight, but it's defended. So what to do here? What am I looking at? I want to see I'm always looking at the king and queen because those are the most important pieces on the board, as well as mine. So it doesn't look like I can defend this knight. It looks like this knight is a goner, which obviously we don't want. So we have to look for some type of in-between move, some type of counterattack. If we don't have a defensive move, we have to find a counterattack. And again, hint here, the king is the most important piece on the board. So if we're going to lose something else and we can't defend it, we might as well either attack the queen or the king or both. And that's where I'm going to come up with the move knight d4 here. If the queen takes the knight, we have this check. King has to bounce back here. And, what to do after that? We can throw in a check. White blocks. And then we have this check. Looks like it's checkmate. So I'm going to go with this in this position. Oh, no. What did I miss here? Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. There's something. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. I'm sorry. So there actually is a defensive resource here because the knight and bishop can block. They both work together in tandem with each other. It's not quick enough. We actually have to do something much quicker and much better and much easier than what I was looking at. Always look at forcing moves here. That's the lesson. We go queen takes, and then the knight comes here. Then we get the queen immediately. Not only that, we save our knight, and we're going to get the rook in the corner. Okay, rook. In this puzzle, we have, looks like we're getting our butt kicked. But here, pretty easy. We have to take, it looks like. So we have to take. So let's just get rid of that part of the equation. And now here's where we have our first real decision. If I come up here, I completely lose my rook. So that's not great. If I come here, I'm protecting my rook. But then I'm getting hit with this check. That's not too great. If I come here back with the queen, he has this check. Then I have to come here. Okay. So basically our two options are king here or queen here. If I come here, we have this check here. I'm getting checked. I'm never going to... Okay. So the reason why this doesn't work is his queen comes into our position. At the very least, he has perpetual check and possibly even mate. Who knows? It doesn't look good. I want to get my queen into the action, and I'm not going to get a chance to get it into the action unless I do it right away, right now. So I'm going to go queen down here, and now when it comes here, I can't block with the queen because I'll lose the rook. I'll just slide my king over, but the point is my queen's already over here to defend and hold this position. So that was definitely instrumental to bring the queen in as soon as possible. And that's a good lesson because we don't always have a chance. Sometimes we lose the chance to do things we want to do in chess because there's opportunity only knocks, once in chess a lot of times at the right time, and we have to, take that opportunity when we can. Okay, seize the opportunity. Okay, in this position, this is a weird position. All right, so white has a piece on us, but it looks like we have more pawns and a pass pawn, or at least we can make a pass pawn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we only have one pawn on white here. But what do we do here? If I push this, he takes check, takes, comes here. We have these two connected pass pawns. Doesn't look so bad. What if I take here? He takes, and then this guy rolls. That's one. He can kind of intercept it, right? He intercepts that, but then this guy rolls forward. And this knight looks like it's out of position. This knight can't really get into the game. So I'm going to take here, and now we have this pass pawn. I'm going to push it, and now I'm just going to push here, and now the king has to take, and now this guy queens. King and pawn endgames, even though this isn't a strict king and pawn endgame because there's a knight on the board, but the knight's out of the game, so it's basically a king and pawn endgame. They're very, very precise. So the more you work on those, the better you'll get at them and your calculation abilities in general. Okay. In this puzzle, let's see what we have here. We have a discovery on the queen. We throw in the check first, probably. So we have this taking a piece with check. That's always good. All right, so let's just find the right move order. We can throw in a check here and win a piece. King has to come to B1, which is a light square. Then we can come here and threaten checks on that light square. That looks reasonable. Oh, we also have this rook coming in here. So check comes here and then takes. And this queen is defending the bishop. Again, so these puzzles are really good because they're baiting you to do things you're not supposed to do. So we have a discovery here. If you're an experienced player, you'll see that. But this discovery actually just kills your attack. You want to do is you take the bishop with check, which defends your own bishop. The queen can't take, in other words. After the king moves to b1, we actually take this pawn with the rook and set up mating threats that are unstoppable, and your bishop's defended. White has no attack. Let's just see that in reality. We take here, and the queen takes, and our queen just defends, and we win the game. Okay, let's do one more puzzle. This is an endgame puzzle. A pretty good one, it looks like. Interesting, at least. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns. We have 3 pawns on our opponent. Our opponent has a bishop, so it's materially equal, but it's really an imbalance in material. So what do we want to do here? Basically, what we want to do is create a pass pawn. How do we do that? Well, we have a 2-on-1, or it's not really a 3-on-1 because this pawn kind of intercepts this pawn, but we have a 2-on-1 here, so we can create a pass pawn here, and it looks like this bishop is kind of funky. It's blocked by its own pawn, so it has to take this circuitous route to get back here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. I can go 1, 2, 3, and then my pawn is going to be here. So the bishop cannot come back here to defend the queening square. So I'm just going to come back here, push, and ooh, it looks like he got there. Takes, takes. So I push, he takes, takes, takes. What to do here now? I think I just got stuck. I come here. This is not good. Come here. Oh, I see it. I see it now. Okay. So I push the pawn. He takes. I don't take back, but I push. So here, and there's no way the bishop can get to this to defend the queening square. And, well, there you have it, folks. That's it. That's how I look at positions. Basically, I know these are puzzles, but if this was a real game, this is how I'm analyzing the position. I'm balancing my attack, my opportunities with my opponent's threats, and seeing based on what's going on, according to that balance, what's the best move in those positions. Do I make an aggressive move or an attacking move, or do I make a purely defensive move? Normally, I never make a purely defensive move. Usually, I try to mix defense with attack, but I'm always weighing my opponent's chances and my chances to find the best move. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you guys learned something in this video. I'll catch you next time. Please make sure you subscribe if you like the video and go play some chess.